Well, hello everyone, and welcome to ADMG 475, week 7. Let's talk about the assignments that are out there for you to do. So this week's discussion is a little bit different, actually. I'm going to do something fun, I hope, and I hope it's not going to be too stressful. So, and the other thing too is I want you guys to know that I am going to be doing this with you. So please understand this is not meant to be stressful, but it is kind of meant to give you an idea of what the PMP, Project Management Professional exam, is all about. Now remember, the PMI, Project Management Institute, is the certification body for project management professionals. The PMP exam is what you can achieve, and you need to pass an exam in order to be able to get your PMP. And there are a number of really good practice exams online. They're free. You can take, some of them are really, really in-depth with a lot of questions, and it'll take you a couple of hours to complete, and then other ones are simple, 10 to 15 questions, and just to kind of give you a flavor. So I have there's a test here that you can look at and consider. What we are going to do is we're going to have you take one of these exams. You get to pick whichever one you want to do. Now, if you're short on time, take one that's 20, 25 questions. If you've got some extra time, there's a 90-minute one that has 75 different questions out there. You can go for it, whichever test you would like to do. Now, go out and take one of these tests. Now, after you take the test, I want you to post your score. Now, I realize this can be stressful, but be honest and post how well you scored. I'm going to post mine, and I honestly believe I will do very poorly on the exam because I have not studied for the exam. I have not prepared myself for the exam. I have not put myself in the PMI mindset of the questions or anything else. So, first thing I want to say is that there is absolutely no judgment here. The intent is not to make you feel uncomfortable in any way about this assessment. What this is, oh my goodness, this is what you can expect on the PMP exam. It's just a practice to get you to understand what some of the questions are like, what it feels like to take the exam, should you decide to go for the real test. Okay, so go out. Find a practice exam. I have a list for you to choose from. Pick one, take it. All right, post your score. Here's what we want to know. I want to know what test you attempted to take and what was your score. Be sure to provide the URL. You don't have to provide any evidence of the actual test because we're going to trust you on this. We just want to know which one you tried, what was the URL, and what was your score. Now, I want you to talk about your experience. What did you think about the experience of taking the exam? What areas do you feel that you would need to study more in order to, if you were going to get ready to take the real test? Now, one other thing to remember is that this class, these last couple of classes, are in no way meant to prepare you to take the PMP exam, okay? So you are probably pretty unprepared for the exam, but a lot of the terminology that you would see on the exam is terminology that you have been exposed to throughout the course, okay? So just understand you've been exposed to the terminology, but yet not really having, this is not a PMP prep course in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's really important to understand. So you post your questions no later than Saturday. Your peer responses should be encouragements and insights if possible. There are no specific peer requirements for your posts this week other than to get 2 of them in by Sunday. You don't have to worry about any of the number of words or the references or any of that, but definitely put some careful thought into your responses. Okay, I'm doing this with you. I will post my results. I will tell you which test I took, and again, I expect mine are going to be pretty not really very good. Okay, so this week's assignment let's do the project update. We're just a little under 4.5 months away from our project. Our project is obviously well underway. We have chosen a venue and the venue's been contracted. Your team has met to discuss various tasks and how they are progressing. Some assumptions have been made, but all in all, things are moving along nicely. Now it's time for your first project status report. So you are going to be preparing a project status report. Now, they can be very time consuming. So when you're doing a real project, whatever time frame you have negotiated with your sponsor, I encourage you, it should be frequent enough so that your sponsor is comfortable with how the project is progressing, but it should not be so often that you spend all of your time pulling together the project status report, because they can be time consuming. Okay, so there are a number of factors that you typically consider and evaluate, such as things like what work has been completed, what work is left to be completed. You're going to report on risks. You're going to report on pending changes. You're going to report on any quality assessments. You're going to typically do schedule and cost progress. Are you on schedule? Are you on cost or on budget? And you're going to typically present a progress on all of your key deliverables. So there is a template that has been provided. I have gone and used the project management docs template called performance report and modified that template for the purposes of this project. So the first thing you want to do is you want to update your current work breakdown structure to represent every task and its relative completion. How far along are you? How many of the tasks are 100% completed? And then on other tasks, determine if it's 10%, 25%, 40%, but address all of your tasks and decide which ones are complete and put a percentage of completion in. You're going to need that data. So then you're going to use the performance report template that's located in the project templates page, and then you're going to complete all of those sections. Now again, because we're using the project management docs template, there's a lot of green instructional text, and then there is some example text. You're going to want to remove all of that. You don't want to keep the example text, and you don't want the green instructional. You're going to want to complete all necessary information on the front page and throughout. So there's a couple of sections that I'm going to focus on. You will complete all of the sections as appropriate, but there's a few that I definitely want to focus on. So for the project status summary section, you're going to change the colors of the dashboard to represent the appropriate status, whether it's green for good, yellow for cautionary, or red for uh-oh, we're in trouble. And the sections of the dashboard are the scope, schedule, cost, risks, and project quality. Now you're going to evaluate your project based on those 5 characteristics. You're going to assign a color that represents its current status. That's a quick dashboard view. Managers love dashboards, so we're going to create this little dashboard. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. You're also going to discuss the overall project of your status, or excuse me, the overall status of your project. Now you're going to use your work breakdown structure to determine the percentage of project completion. Now you know how to do this already. We've done this in the past. Complete all other sections following the instructional text that's been provided, or by using the example text. Remove all of that text. You may choose to calculate key performance indicators, KPIs, and for this section you'll get 5 extra credit points. If you do not do the KPI section, remove it from the template. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute. You're going to submit this status report, which is your Microsoft Word document. It is a Word doc, and then you're going to submit your updated Microsoft project file. So this is what the dashboard looks like. See, you've got scope, schedule, cost, risks, and quality. Now you're going to change that to green, yellow, whatever, and see where the percentage of completion is. Now you're going to grab that data from your work breakdown structure. And that is just a table in Microsoft Project, and you just can use the fill color. There's nothing difficult about that. All right. Now, there's another section here that is a little bit of a table, and I definitely wanted to call attention to this as well. This is your deliverables and milestones. So you're going to go out to the milestones in your work breakdown structure, and you're going to enter the WBS number. You're going to enter the date that was planned for completion. Then you're going to forecast when you expect it to be done and put in an actual date that it was done if it has been completed, and put in a quick little status there. A simple status is fine. You can put in completed, on schedule, behind schedule, accepted. Follow the instructional text that's there. Also your deliverables. So you've got your milestones and you have your deliverables, right? Same thing. You're going to use the data from your work breakdown structure, put it in there, put in the WBS number, planned, forecast, actual dates. If, of course, actual, if it hasn't been done, then there's no actual date, but put in the status that it is on schedule, behind schedule, accepted, give some kind of status. In progress is a good status as well. All right, so that's how you complete that section. And then here's your KPIs. Now, your KPIs is all about earned value management. Now, I have provided a lot of information on how to calculate the earned value management data and how you can use your work breakdown structure, your Microsoft project file to do that. So should you decide to complete the key performance indicators, you will earn extra credit. You want to know the schedule, the SV and the SPI, and you want to know the cost, and you want to indicate whether you're ahead of schedule or behind schedule. So you want to fix that green text where it says ahead of or behind. I would leave, if you're ahead of schedule, say green. If you're behind, I might change that text to red, because that is an indicator that you're behind schedule. Red, bad; green, good. And then cost, same thing. If you're over budget, red. If you're under budget, leave it green. And then put in the CV and the cost performance indicators. So you're going to have to calculate those numbers, use Microsoft Project, and you can get that data, SV, SPI, CV, and CPI, and add that to this little section down here. And again, you can earn 5 extra credit points for doing that. Don't forget, you do have a quiz due on Sunday, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know. All right, I hope you enjoy this opportunity to do a project status and what goes into a project status and where you get that data. Enjoy the opportunity, and I look forward to working with you during this module.